Well, for the past couple of months, cattle markets have been quite volatile. So Derrell, what's the situation like now?
Well, we have been a lot of volatility. Most recently, of course, it's been because of the avian influenza in cattle. Hopefully we're through most of that now. The most recent round of testing confirmed that there's no, issues with the meat or anything. So hopefully that passes. But there's still a lot of uncertainty and nervousness in the market.
So do you expect that volatility to continue?
In general, you never know when these kind of things are going to jump up. So we have to be prepared for these sort of outside events like this. The other thing is that, we've still got cattle prices that are very close to record high levels. So, the market's always going to be very sensitive to any sort of news anytime you're at these high levels. We're going to continue to be at relatively high levels. I think eventually we'll work higher here, but at the same time, the market will continue to be very nervous and we're liable to see quite a bit of volatility.
So how can cattle producers manage all that volatility?
Well, there's two ways to think about the volatility. Obviously, it's a source of risk, particularly at any point in time if you happen to be trying to market some cattle and the market does one of these things, then flexibility is one way to manage that, just the ability to maybe outweight, if you will, wait past one of these short-term events. Obviously, broader risk management measures are a very good idea, even though we're quite bullish on the market, but risk management. The other thing to think about, though, is that, beyond the cow-calf level, our margin operations, whether it's stocker producers or feedlot producers, they're both buying and selling. So anytime you see these market volatility, that may provide an opportunity to actually price in some cattle on the buying side that can be, beneficial to help make those margins look a little bit better.
So how does this change your overall outlook for cattle markets?
It really doesn't change the overall outlook. The fundamental numbers haven't changed. The general setup going forward is the same. It's just that the market has to work through a lot of sort of noise, if you will, as we go forward. But I think it doesn't change the fact that we're still looking at, for that time when, we start trying to retain heifers and rebuild the herd. That's going to squeeze feeder supplies even more, and that's going to keep a lot of strength in this market.
Let's do a check-in right now with pasture conditions. Last time we checked, the state was getting quite a bit of rain, but some droughts creeping into the northern part of the state, though rain is still coming. So what is the pasture conditions looking like for cattle markets?
Yeah, for Oklahoma, I think we're generally making some improvements. We do still have some dry spots, but we've had some very wet conditions in some other areas, and we're continuing to get some rain. So I think we're still in kind of the residual impacts of the El Nino setup. We expect that to change over the next few months. At least that's what the weather people are saying. But for the time being, I think we're actually set up pretty well for forage, both pasture and hay conditions going into the heart of the growing season here.
All right, thanks, Derrell. Dr. Derrell Peel, Livestock Marketing Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.